excited to be here with you. I am Andy Gupta, and this is my wife, Deepa Acharya.
And this is my husband, N.K.S. Tapawala.
And we are your program chairs for tonight. Let us begin the evening with a message from our governor, Deval Patrick.
Good evening. I'm Governor Patrick. I apologize I can't be with you all tonight, but I wanted to take this opportunity to thank my friends at the American India Foundation New England and members of the South Asian community for the important work you do to make meaningful change and transform the lives of millions of Indians less fortunate. Through your extensive network of business, civic, and philanthropic leaders, and your commitment to promoting social and economic change, you have contributed to strengthening the relationship between America and India. By working together, we have the ability to create a brighter future for both of our nations. I'd also like to take a moment to congratulate your 2013 honoree, Scott Sperling. Scott, your leadership and dedication to philanthropy is inspiring. I thank you for your contributions to the citizens of our Commonwealth and beyond. And I thank all of you for all you contribute to our state. We're all in this together. We are one community, one Commonwealth, and the South Asian community in all its forms makes the Commonwealth stronger. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Governor, for those very kind. I want to introduce our MC for tonight, a gentleman called Anish Shah. He got an MBA at Yale, spent 5 years at McKinsey & Company, and then walked away from the grind to become one of the leading corporate comedians in the world. He has performed for companies in more than 20 countries. So without any delay, let us welcome Anish Shah.
Thank you very much. How are you guys doing tonight? You guys excited? Yeah, make some noise, people. You guys excited? All right. I am thrilled to be here today. I thought I would start by telling you guys a little bit about myself. As far as Indians go, I am Gujarati. Any Gujaratis out there? That's, what, like 15? That's not surprising given the tickets were, what, like $500? So let's see, what else about me? I'm single, which is, I gotta say, it's interesting because your daughters are very mean people. Like, I'll give you an example. I was dating this girl, Sandra, and we're sitting in her apartment and we're looking through her Facebook pictures. And she has pictures of her ex-boyfriends in there, and these guys are ripped, like six-packs, huge biceps, and I was like, Sejal, your ex-boyfriends are so muscular. And she said, yeah, but when I was dating them, they gave me body image issues. This is much better. So we have an amazing evening planned for you guys tonight. We have great speakers coming. We have, 400 people here tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. 400 people. 500 people, I can't count. I'm a bad Indian, I can't do math. 500 people, that is amazing. Where are the organizers? Can we have the organizers stand for 1 second, all the people that put this together? And give them a round of applause, everybody. So one thing that I wanted to mention up front here that I'm going to be talking about quite a bit throughout the night is, obviously this is a fundraiser, and the goal is to raise as much money as possible. We want to do better this year than we've ever done before. And given that, all of you on your table have pledge cards. So throughout the night, I'm going to bring up the pledge cards, talking to you about the impact that AIF has had around the world. At the end of the night, there's going to be people coming around to collect these pledge cards. I would love it if you guys would donate as much as you possibly can. We'll talk about this much more throughout the night. But as a starting point, please make some noise if you're planning to make a donation tonight. Make some noise, people.
Over the last decade, India is still a country grappling with devastating poverty, accounting for a third of the world's poor. Its growth leaving hundreds of millions of its citizens behind in the margins of society. society. The complex challenges faced by India require bold solutions. The American India Foundation is working on the front lines of social and economic change across India, developing innovative solutions to persistent challenges and creating countless opportunities for India's poor to live successful, productive lives.
In the formative years of AIF, we did work across a whole slew of issues of poverty and deprivation. And AIF evolved from being a relief organization to that of focusing on unique programs in the area of education and livelihoods that had the most impact in the most marginalized communities in India.
The American India Foundation works closely with local communities, partners with NGOs to develop and test innovations, and advocates governments to ensure these solutions create sector-wide sustainable change by affecting policy change.
American India Foundation plays a significant role in shaping India's civil society, building sustainable methods to make sure that these communities take charge and are fully empowered to build their own future.
The American India Foundation's high-impact interventions provide access to high-quality education, formal sector employment for urban youth and rickshaw drivers, and public health services to protect the health of mothers and their children while building the next generation of global leaders through service. AIF builds coalitions of partners to leverage investments and amplify impact on a large scale, enabling millions of Indians to build a better life for themselves and their families.
We've been working with over 200 NGOs on the ground, providing a great ecosystem for community building and building partnerships. Private sector partners, we have public sector partners, corporations and foundations, and ensuring that every dollar that is generated gets leveraged to the maximum extent possible. Through partnerships, the work that we do on the ground is not just equivalent of $1, but multiples. We have $6.5 worth of work that happens on the ground for every $1.
This isn't about promoting cursory moments of philanthropic activity. It's about building community. What you're becoming a part of is a movement that's making its way across the nation, across both these continents, that wants to deliver social good to the underprivileged many thousands of miles away. And this movement that you're going to be a part of is hosted by a group of people that are extraordinarily passionate about wanting to make this difference. And they know they can make it meaningfully with scale and an impact. And I think that's what the American India Foundation is about.
Truly remarkable. One more time for AIF, everybody. Yeah. It's amazing. Did you see a stat in there where they said that they live on $2 a day? $2 a day, that's amazing. Can you imagine if we had to try to live on $2 a day in America? Like, what could you buy for $2 a day? Like, maybe one slice of pizza from Pizza Hut, or maybe two $2 menu burgers from McDonald's, or like 73 tacos from Taco Bell, right? That's what we're looking at. So I mean, I think that we'd be remiss. I mentioned the moms earlier. I would say we'd also be remiss if we didn't talk about the impact that Indian fathers have on their children. Indian dads, make some noise, Indian dads. These people are the unsung Jedi masters of the family, right? Like, they are amazing people, and they're so like Indian moms are so like out there, and they're the ones that are like, kind of running everything. Indian dads are just in the background. They're clear, they're concise. Like my dad, I'll give you an example. My dad, these metaphors, these ridiculous metaphors, to communicate the things that he wants to get across, right? Like, for example, he was recently diagnosed with diabetes, right? A serious issue. This is the way that my dad comes home and decides he wants to talk to me about taking care of myself so that I don't end up in the same place. He comes home using these ridiculous metaphors and he says, Anish, doctor says I got the diabetes. Let me tell you something about diabetes. You give it an inch, it will take a foot. I'm like, Dad, that's ridiculous. Come on. Are you serious? Ridiculous. So anyways, I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce your next speaker for the night.
Ring! Ring!
Oh my God, I'm sorry about this, guys. Oh my God, this is my dad. I'm sorry, I have to take this. Hello, Dad.
Hello, Anish.
Yeah, Dad. What's up?
This is Garisha, your dad.
Hey, Dad. I know who you are. Why do you always tell me who you are? What do you need? I'm tied up right now. I'm doing a show.
Anish, I'm at Bhavinder Dry Cleaners. They gave me a shirt that I don't recognize. Do you own a black Old Navy shirt?
I don't know. Is it a button down?
No.
So it's a polo then.
No, Anish, it's a normal shirt.
Dad, a button down means a shirt that has buttons that go down the front.
Okay, let me look. The last button is 2 inches from the bottom of the shirt.
Dad, listen, I don't have time for this right now. Can you send me a picture of the shirt?
Anish, it's such a fool. That doesn't make any sense. I gotta go home, get a camera, come back, take a picture, go to CVS, develop the picture, then go to the post office and mail it to you.
Dad, can you text me a picture of the shirt? Can you text it to me?
Okay, let me ask Siri.
Dad, are you gonna ask Siri to text the picture?
Oi, Siri!
Dad.
Siri, take a picture.
You have to hang up the
Siri,
phone, Dad.
take a picture.
Dad,
Send it
hang
to
up the
Anish.
phone.
Siri!
Dad.
Siri!
Come on, man. Dad.
Siri! Up! You know, Anish, Siri is just like you. She doesn't do anything.
Alright, Dad, you know what? I gotta go. I'll take care of this later. Alright, I gotta go.
Okay, Anish, today I sold 2 homes to clients. What did you do today?
I wrote a joke about how dentists think that they're doctors.
That's funny. You know, Anish, almost as funny as that time you spent 2 years getting an MBA for absolutely no reason.
Alright, Dad, you know what? I gotta go. I really can't do
Anish,
this.
did you find a girl yet?
No, I have not found a girl yet.
Why not?
Dad, people think that just because I'm a comedian, that girls think I'm funny and they're attracted to me. That's just not.
Anish, let me break it to you. Nobody thinks that.
Alright, Dad, you know, I really have to go. I gotta show.
I mean, maybe if you were a successful comedian.
I get it, Dad. You know what? I'm not successful. I haven't done anything. You know, and that actually brings up a good point. I was actually just looking at my finances. I'm kind of short on rent money this month.
Hello,
Dad, I know you're there.
You're breaking up.
Dad,
Anish, I'm going to McDonald's.
you're not. You just said you're the dry cleaner.
Hello? Anish, I'm
Dad,
breaking
come
up.
on, man.
McDonald's, Anish.
Dad.
Hello, Anish.
Hello?
Anish.
Dad, come
Anish.
on.
Hello?
Seriously?
Hello?
Dad, are you just making a dial tone sound? Cell phones don't have dial tones, Dad. Forget it, he hung up. Give it up for Andy Gupta helping me out with that, everybody. So next up, I wanted to bring up a very special couple.
I'm Vivek Sharma.
Good evening. I'm Vandana Sharma. It is with great pleasure that we welcome you to AIF's 7th Annual New England Gala. AIF, this great organization, was introduced to me by my husband Vivek. Further, I read and explored more about it. AIF's large-scale impact and how it is transforming lives of children, women, and families who are marginalized, also in the areas of education, livelihoods, and public health. was arranged to meet with AIF-funded the Rickshaw Wala Sangh of Agra. My husband and I traveled to India last August. It was a wet, rainy afternoon when we chased AIF-funded vending carts and rickshaws under the guidance of a very passionately involved social worker, a retired bank officer who traveled from Lucknow just to help us meet these beneficiaries. Upon meeting these rickshawalas, and to our satisfaction, they all proudly reported how happy they were to own their vehicles, otherwise impossible, with the unexpected help they received from AIF that came to them as a blessing. Upon us, they showered their gratitude with marigold garlands and really sweet shot of local chai. I felt we all are doing the right thing. So please be assured when you pledge tonight on your pledge cards that it's going to do so much good and will go to hundreds of needful causes. And I do hope you enjoy the rest of the evening with a great satisfaction in your hearts that your donations will bring in a positive change in the lives of many. So please pledge generously. Thank you.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again. I hope you are enjoying the food and the evening. Tonight, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our honoree, Scott Spurley. I have known Scott for the last 7 years and had the privilege of working with Scott for 5 of those 7 years. Scott is the co-president of Thomas H. Partners, THL, as it is known as one of the nation's oldest and most successful private equity firm, and Scott has been a leader of the firm for over 2 decades. Scott has personally led a wide range of investments, including Fisher Scientific, Warner Music Group, Houghton Mifflin, The Learning Company, and Experian, just to name a few. He serves on the board of Clear Channel, the world's largest radio and outdoor advertising company, Thermo Fisher Scientific, a $50 billion company broadly involved in the world of science, and Univision, the largest Spanish language media company in the nation. While I admire Scott for his great acumen for recognizing and building valuable companies at a significant scale, I admire him even more for setting a stellar example of how one gives back to the community. As Albert Einstein once said, it is every man's obligation to put back into the world at least the equivalent of what he takes out of it. Scott has just done that and more. Scott and his wife Lorraine are actively involved in a number of charitable and community organizations and highly committed to giving back to those in need. Through the Sterling Family Charitable Foundation, Scott and Lorraine have been major contributors to a range of organizations with particular focus on education, underprivileged children, and healthcare. Scott is the chairman of City Center of Performing Arts and the Event Theater, chairman-elect and vice chair of the board of Brigham and Women's Hospital and Brigham Women's Faulkner Hospital Group. He is joining the board of Partners Healthcare System and has served as a board member of the Rock Center for Entrepreneurship at Harvard Business School and Granite School of Management at Purdue University. Scott has served on the Harvard Business School's Dean Board of Advisors and currently serves on the Harvard University Committee on University Resources. Scott, you have been a source of inspiration for me and a lot of others, and your efforts in community and nonprofit has shown us that we can contribute to the betterment of mankind in a variety of ways. There are great similarities in philosophy and purpose between Scott's philanthropic involvement and AIF. We at AIF work very hard to make sure our donors' contributions go very far with manifold leverage. All of the AIF's operating expenses are covered by the trustees and the board. All donor contributions go 100% to help the needy. We leverage your contributions 6.5 times through partnerships with federal, state, and local governments in India. So Scott, on behalf of AIF, all the guests here tonight, and all the people we serve, it is a privilege and honor to have you with us tonight and to be able to honor you for all that you do for the community and the underprivileged
Vivek just inflated my grades dramatically. But thank you all for being wonderful friends. Thank you, Vivek. Both you and your lovely wife have done a phenomenal job. You and I have done a phenomenal job at organizing this event, and your commitment to this organization and to bettering the lives of others is something to really be admired, and we thank you for that. Vivek has been as he had described, a longtime friend and a treasured colleague. But there are many others of you here who I've gotten to know through the course of this event. And I want to thank the Board of Trustees of AIF for bestowing this honor. No matter how unworthy I might be, as some of my old friends would describe to you, it is still a humbling honor to stand here tonight. And I would like to thank the entire New England leadership, and particularly the host committee, because as my wife pointed out, this is an incredibly difficult thing to put together. And it looks so wonderful to all of us, but everything that goes on to organize an event of this magnitude is really amazing. So thank you all very much for putting this on. And it's such a great event. I'd like to thank Congresswoman Gala for coming all the way from Hawaii, and Congressman Kennedy for joining us tonight. It's really a wonderful show of support. And on a truly personal note, I'd like to thank my daughters Jenny and Melanie for being here tonight. They come in from out of town, and don't worry, ladies, I will remember that the boys weren't here and you were. Most especially, I'd like to thank my wife, my partner in life, and my better in almost everything, other than maybe wrestling and rugby, my wife Lorraine. Lorraine is that charming and elegant woman who's sitting right at that table. But the fact is, we first met at HBS at a rugby club party, and that was a preparation for the life with me. Lorraine has been a leader in a wide variety of organizations, and it is really through her efforts that I have been able to participate in so many such things. She's been an incredible wife, mother, and friend, and counselor for over 32 years. Thank you, Lorraine, for everything you've done for me. So the question actually for tonight is, why am I here? Why am I here? And I don't ask this in the existential way that a Kierkegaard or Sartre might pose, because I'm not smart enough for that. I went into the world of business. It's not a rhetorical question, because I'm not yet old enough or wise enough to ask a rhetorical question without being seen as obnoxious. And again, as some of my old friends here would say, there's enough about me that's obnoxious, so I don't need to add to that. And you can speculate I'm here because of my good friend Vivek, and that's actually partially true. But let me tell you why I'm really here. I wasn't born into this community. Well, I guess when you're being honored, you can say the obvious and nobody actually objects to that. But I wasn't born into this community. But I feel a kinship, an incredibly strong connection with this community. And it is not, as with many, because I've spent extensive time in India falling in love with its beauty, its mystery, and excitement. And while I do love the food, and I love the joyous nature of your celebrations, it's not for that reason either. It's because I admire your intense commitment to those things that I know my wife shares in this, hold dear. It's the commitment to your children. It's a culture that believes in its very soul that education and hard work lead to more than just financial success. Your sense that helping those on the path to success reach their potential, as well as those who are in need of gaining or regaining their footing, are equally joyous obligations, is something that I admire greatly. 2 years ago, Lorraine and I had the privilege of attending a Thai dinner. And that night, when I I spoke of entrepreneurship and private equity. But when we left, what struck Lorraine and I both was seeing a group of young high school-age women who won an award for building a new business. They identified a need, they designed an innovative new battery product, and they developed a plan to manufacture and market the product. And that was all great. But they spoke with such eloquence and poise for high schoolers. And it was truly amazing to hear them discuss the work that they had done. But perhaps what was even more amazing was the fact that this award was a competitive award and that they were just one of dozens of such young people from this region and one of hundreds of young people from across the country that were involved in such a remarkable learning experience. Even more remarkably, they were being mentored by some of the nation's most successful entrepreneurs, educators, including the Dean of HBS, and individuals and scientists. Individuals with little free time, but with an incredible commitment to their community. And I distinctly remember my conversation with Lorraine as we drove home. What we experienced that night was everything we believed that this country needed in order to solve the many intractable problems that we face. We talk about improving education, and there's a lot of talk about what we need to do to improve education. And there's a lot of talk about what we need to do to create opportunity for those who live in desperate circumstances. But there's a lot of saying it, and very few actually commit the time, the effort, and the personal energy to making it happen. I look around this room, and I see the faces of people who I've known as friends, partners, colleagues, and even competitors in business. I see educators and entrepreneurs. I see people who came to this country with very little and now have much. Much to give, and you do. You do in so many ways. Not just in the traditional monetary sense, although you clearly do that, but you give of yourselves, you give your time, your energy, your knowledge, and your very soul. 48 years ago, a son of this state said, "Few will have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events. It is from numberless diverse acts of courage and belief that human history is shaped. Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance." Robert F. Kennedy, the grandfather of our congressman here tonight, said these words well before AIF was even a thought or an idea in anybody's mind. But his timeless words describe exactly what you and this organization are doing. For what I saw at that event 2 years ago, and what you are doing for your own children and neighbors, you are working to do for the broader community in India. The potential of India is almost without peer. There's enormous wealth that results from an entrepreneurial spirit that makes the impossible possible. There's a large and growing middle class that provides a domestic market that can enable the creation of scale businesses that can be global leaders even as wages rise for all. There's a highly educated and technologically savvy society. But the challenges for India are almost as daunting, with hundreds of millions still in poverty and tens of millions of children without the educational opportunities we so value for our own children. Wanting to help is admirable, but actually helping is what is miraculous. And the approach that AIF takes, the actual work that you in this room do, that miracle is is what makes the idealistic words of Bobby Kennedy that he spoke 50 years ago also real. In your learning and migration program, you are standing up for an ideal. That ideal is that no matter your caste or your circumstance, all children are entitled to an education. Your rickshaw, sang, and your Mask and Nancy programs are all designed to improve the lot of others. Not to provide charity, but to truly help others see and walk the path that you yourselves have followed. And in your digital equalizer program, in your governmental partnerships, you are striking at the very roots of injustice. The people in this room, many of whom came to this country with little, you worked hard, achieved success, and raised wonderful children. You have lived admirable lives, and for most, that would be enough. But for you, it wasn't enough. It was not enough to be in a place of safety and comfort. Rather, you believed that helping those in your broader community, thousands of miles away, was not just an obligation, but it was an honor. You believe that rescuing a child from a life you would never want for your children is the greatest manifestation of that obligation and that honor. Now I'll share something very personal that I don't usually talk about in a larger group. Lorraine and I find great joy most Saturday mornings in going to study Torah at our local temple. These are the first 5 books of the Judeo-Christian Bible. And they can be studied for a lifetime given their complexity and endless range of interpretation. Our goal in studying this year after year and restudying the same ancient text is not for academic excellence. Rather, it is to seek out ways to live our lives righteously. But what is it, our sages ask? Does it mean to be righteous? And the simple answer can be boiled down to 3 things. Now, excuse me for a second, because yes, I did go to Harvard Business School, and so we always need simple answers, because we're not Harvard Law School. And it's almost always 3 things, because 2 is too few, but 4 gets a little complex. So there are 3 things. First, it's how we treat others. 2,000 years ago, an ancient rabbi, Rabbi Hillel, was asked about the complexities of studying Torah. What does it mean? And he said, you don't understand, it's really simple. That which is abhorrent to you, never do to others. All the rest is commentary. This, taken together with the admonition in Leviticus, that you shall love your neighbor as yourself, sets a standard by which we should judge every action that we take. Second, our obligation to proactively help. The rabbis wrote that the world rests on 3 things: justice, truth, and peace. But justice tempered with mercy is not enough to satisfy our obligation to our fellow. Just justice tempered with mercy is not enough. And third, that the highest of the 8 levels of charity, of tzedakah in Hebrew, is enabling the recipient to become self-reliant. Now, why did I bring this up? Because as I wrote these words, it was clear to me that this group, that you people, have achieved success both individually and as a whole that is well out of proportion to your numbers. Success for which you deservedly earn the admiration of many. However, it is in all else that you do and for all the people that you are doing it, both for your community, near and far. It is that which sets an example for all of us to follow. And it is that which has earned you. And by the way, you thought you were giving me an honor, but I'm going to turn around and give you an honor. For those of you of the right age, you know that in Godfather that means I'm going to mow green to you. I'm giving you the title, and it's truly a title, of the righteous among us, because you have achieved those standards, which I just articulated, for being a truly righteous person or people. And now, That's why I'm here tonight. That's why I'm here. To celebrate what you do as individuals and as a community. A community for whom you in this room bring honor to its name. And I want to thank you for this honor, no matter how undeserved it might be. And thank you for letting Lorraine, my daughters Melanie and Jenny, and me be, even if it's only for a brief moment, a member of your community. Thank you very much.
Please, one more time for Mr. Scott Sperling, everybody. Give him a big round of applause. Thomas H. Lee, an amazing organization. I gotta say, we talked about MAST, right? This initiative by AIF to train people for jobs, for interviews, right? That's one of the big things they do is training people on how to interview. And actually, Mr. Sperling, I don't know if you're aware of this. When I graduated from business school, I applied to Thomas H. Lee. Why did I turn? I didn't get the offer. I was talking to Vivek earlier today about working at Thomas H. Lee and why I might not have gotten the offer, and he gave me a very interesting response. He said it's because you went to a second-tier business school like Yale instead of Harvard Business School. Any HBS people here? Make some noise if you went to HBS. Yes, Team Nordic Education. I gotta say, so I had the opportunity to perform at HBS last April, I believe, and it's remarkable. It's not wrong when they say that the HBS people are just different than the rest of the world. All of you out there are just different. Like, I'll give you an example of what I mean. You can tell within 5 minutes of meeting a person that they went to Harvard Business School, because that's about how long it takes them to mention it, right? So. I remember when I was in business school, we were talking about interviewing. I remember when I was in business school, I had an interview, a final round interview with an investment bank called CIBC. For those of you that don't know CIBC, someone's here from CIBC? CIBC right there? Alright, you're gonna hate this story. I had a final round interview with CIBC, which for those of you that don't know, is sort of a mid-tier Canadian investment bank. Right, so final round interview, it's a full Friday, 5 interviews. The first interview, the first question the interviewer asked me, he says to me, so Mr. Shaw, most people that work at CIBC Investment Banking have a 3.8 or higher undergraduate GPA and have attended Harvard Business School. You had a 3.5 undergraduate GPA and attended Yale. Why should we hire you? I didn't like his tone. So I was honest with him. I said, listen, I don't know why you should hire me, but I actually do have a follow-up question to your question, which is based on your question, I assume that you had a 3.8 or higher undergraduate GPA and attended Harvard Business School. In which case, how did you end up at CIBC? You just screwed up your Goldman Sachs interview, right? That's what happened. So the program that helps you get these jobs, helps you interview, is of course the program that I referred to earlier called MAST. And MAST is a truly amazing program. It's focused on the urban youth of India and getting them ready and trained for the workforce in India. And one of the things that's unique about them is it's not just like a cookie cutter program that creates the same output in every single area of India. They look at what's required in their region, right? So in areas where there's lots of service jobs that are needed, right? They train them on, being in the hotel industry or being in, working at a place like Starbucks, right? In places like Jaipur, where there's a big textile industry, they train them in the textile industry so they can be productive members of that society. Another thing that's important to mention is that the MASS program, 10% of its trainees are people with disabilities, people that are deaf, people that are blind, people that have significant impairments. And this is a significant thing because in India, a lot of the educational institutions don't have a way of dealing with this. So I wanted to give you an example, make it real, of a young man named Gopi Chandra. Gopi was born with a hearing and speech impediment. He pretty much couldn't communicate or hear through voice. The schools that he grew up in were ill-equipped to deal with such a thing. He had very little prospects, I would say, to be kind of a productive member of the workforce based on the training that he got. And so he decided to apply to MAST. And in the program, they taught him the skills, they had the resources necessary in order to teach him how to do specific things in areas he was interested in. So they helped him become savvy in computers and also in auto repair. And now Gopi is employed as an auto repairman. He actually has taught the people that work with him sign language so that he can communicate effectively with them. And he attributes that all to the confidence and training that he got with the MASS program, which is just remarkable. So I just wanted to mention that story. So with that, I wanted to bring up a video that talks a little bit more about the MASS program. Can we have the MASS video, please?
Home to the world's youngest workforce, rapid population growth is set to make India the world's most populous country by 2025. Millions of young people migrate to urban centers in search of opportunity to enter the workforce. They arrive with little prior education and lack the basic skills needed to gain employment. With more than half of India's 1.2 billion people under the age of 25, skills development holds the key to India's ability to activate the vast potential of its youth population for inclusive growth and to evolve as a global economic hub.
ये 3 साल पुरानी बात है, मेरी तबीयत खराब हो गई, पापा मुझे लेके दिल्ली आ गए। दिल्ली आने के बाद कुछ दिन मेरा ट्रीटमेंट चला यहाँ पे, और जैसे मैं कुछ ठीक हुई तो मुझे लगा कि अब मुझे जॉब करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि पापा के ऊपर काफ़ी प्रेशर था, बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी, क्योंकि ना किसी ने मुझे ऐसा जॉब के बारे में कुछ बताया। I had a vision for the future, and I thought I would never get a job, and I'd always be repressed by the mainstream. I thought I would never be able to stand on my feet.
The AmericanIndiaFoundation's Market Aligned Skills Training Program provides disadvantaged and disabled young people with basic comprehensive skills and access to formal employment opportunities, ranging from retail and hospitality to IT and healthcare. The program responds to market needs to accelerate equitable economic growth and harness India's youth population to become powerful engines of the economy.
Partnership with AIF is a partnership of hope that started NDS despite students, and then as we grew, AIF gave us the hope to take forward our dream, the dream of the deaf community. I know how useful it was to study at NDS. I joined and I got Access Bank employment here. It's been 1 year now. I've worked hard, I've learned, I'm so confident. I would want many deaf people to come and join the bank. 100 above, we would like that. All over in India, this is my dream. मास ज्वाइन करने के बाद मेरी पर्सनालिटी में काफ़ी चेंजेस आए, मुझमें काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंस आया, हाई स्टेशन में सारी डेमो हो गई, और मुझे किसी से बात करने में कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती। मास सेंटर ज्वाइन करने के बाद मुझे जॉब मिल गई थी, क्योंकि वहाँ पे उन्होंने ट्रेनिंग मुझे अच्छी दी थी। अभी करंटली मैं जो जॉब कर रही हूँ, काफ़ी डाटा मैनेजमेंट ऑफिस में कर रही हूँ। अपनी जिस पोस्ट पे हूँ उसमें कंप्यूटर ऑपरेटर की पोस्ट है। मैंने मास सेंटर में ही आके कंप्यूटर सीखा है, उसके पहले मैंने कभी कंप्यूटर नहीं चलाया था। मेरी जॉब से जो भी सैलरी आती है मेरे पास, वो या तो मैं मम्मा को देती हूँ, या तो मैं अपने ब्रदर और सिस्टर के लिए जो भी उनकी ज़रूरत है वो सारे सामान लेके आती हूँ। मैं बहुत खुश हूँ और मेरी ज़िंदगी बदल गई।
It's really nice to have more people around working from us. The way Mask had trained them, it didn't take us long to explain the basics. They were prepared human beings who came to us. We made them into trained officers. That's the difference.
speaker for the evening. She has worked tirelessly for AIF. She's a huge supporter and works on a number of other philanthropic causes. Please, everyone, make a lot of noise for Ms. Lata Krishna, everybody.
Good evening, friends. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I haven't been here for 6 years, and wow, this event has grown by leaps and bounds, and it just gives me so much pleasure to see so many new faces and continue to see so many old ones here. Thank you very much for being here. My personal thanks to Congresswoman Gala for being here tonight, and for Congressman Joe Kennedy, and my personal congratulations to Mr. Scott Spurling and your family. Thank you for all that you do. As I reflect on my journey with AIF for the past 12 years, I can't help thinking of how this organization started at the behest of President Clinton at a time when India had one of its worst calamities. And I can't at the same time help thinking about those families who are devastated as we speak in the Philippines. And I can only hope that as a community, as we think about the world outside the United States, that there arises a group of people and there is something positive that arises out of that calamity as well. As far as AIF is concerned, you've seen 2 wonderful videos, you've heard many speak about the organization, and of course I could go into detail around the programs, but I'll start with just the fact that I'm a numbers gal. My background is finance, and so I'll just throw some numbers at you. Forgive me if they're repetitive. But in 12 years, we've raised over $85 million, touched the lives of 1.9 million people, worked with 227 NGOs of best of class in India. We've educated 870,000 kids, over 30,000 teachers, over 2,541 schools with technology. And now, why is technology important? It is important in the 21st global economy as we try and get the young ready for the world. You heard some of the numbers earlier, but you know 50% of India's population is aged less than 25. 65% is aged less than 35. And the number of children between the ages of 0 and 6 are 158 million. What happens to the youth in India matters to all of us. So a program like MAST that allows us to train over 105,000 youth for market-led skills programming is very important. It's the future. In fact, I think that India can reap a demographic dividend from this group. If you look at our LAMP program, 228,000 children being educated with K through 8, providing them a choice. These are kids who come from salt pans, you know, who have no choices. They are living with their families who are literally submerged in brine for much of the day in heat that is over 110 degrees. They have no way out. And what is our education doing? Well, it's actually just providing someone who doesn't have a choice with a choice. Many of us sitting here have many choices, but these kids don't have even one. And that's what education provides them with. So when I think about the programs that AIF works on, and we have 5 verticals, and I think about DE, I think about LAMP, I think what's important to understand is that it is not just a numbers game. What we're trying to do here is take an innovative program, find a program that no one is addressing, find the gap and minding that gap and finding a way to bring leverage to this program. Because we want 1 plus 1 to equal much more than 3 and 4, certainly much more than 2. And so our leverage today, as we think about our programs, is 6 to 1. And for the financial types in this room, where can you get a better IRR? When you think about educating a child or providing a job to youth that would have just strayed on the streets, that's the greatest IRR. could be done without that support. And as we build the support here, we have over 200 people in India who make sure that we monitor our work and that we're deploying your well-earned money to the right causes. And that is the question we're asked. How do we know that the money gets to the beneficiary? Well, that's because just as we manage financial management, we need people who can source the right deals, monitor the work, provide the deliverables, that we're transparent, that we're accountable. We're all of those things. But at the heart of it, what I am most proud of, as I look back on the last 12 years, is that we're an organization that has been led by the heart and governed by the mind. If all we did was numbers, and if what we talked about was the transparency, the credibility, the accountability, and the leverage, it would not be adequate. What is really important is that we understand the plight of the underprivileged. We understand that empathy is very important. We understand that we need to be the voice for the voiceless. And that's the part we played, and unless we play that part, our work would not be complete. And to that end, I would like to take a moment to thank our board of directors who are here tonight. I would like to thank Raj Sharma and Venkat Srinivasan and their wonderful families for being such devoted, committed board members. You know, none of this would be possible without them, and I really want to give the two families a great hand. And I'd like to thank our new trustees, Vivek and Vandana Sharma. Thank you so much for being here. So what we're doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with the help of our board and our trustees, the fact that this group of people is making sure that they commit to funding the operational needs of this organization, which means that every dollar that is raised here tonight and in any of our events goes towards our programs attest to the commitment that the board has here. And what you are a part of, and as I said earlier, this is not a moment of cursory philanthropy. This is a movement. This is a movement among people who understand that we're building a bridge between the largest democracy and the most powerful democracy, and that what we want to be is the change in this world. And could we dare to believe that we will have a world tomorrow for young children like Jenny and Melanie, where girls and boys are given equal opportunity and an opportunity to realize their individual potentials? Can we dare that? I think we can, and I believe we do. Thank you very much. My sincerest thanks from the board and our trustees to each and every one of you in this room. I'm most thankful to see so many young people here today, and I'm very excited to see the future that this New England team holds for us. Thank you so much.
Please give her another round of applause, everybody. Lata Krishnan, everybody. Lata Krishnan. So I thought this time we'd take a moment to get to know, who some of you are. So I just want to get to know the crowd a little bit. I realize this is mostly a married crowd, but I want to hear from kind of everyone. Anyone here that is single? Single people? Anyone? Single over there. Okay. Right there? All right. Anyone that is right there? Okay. Anyone that is engaged to be married? Engaged? You're engaged? To who? It's not here. Anyone else engaged? Back there. You, sir, you're engaged? What's your name? Tony. Tony. So Tony, you're engaged to the lady next to you? What is her name? Amanda. So Tony, we have a tradition. Part of my goal here today is to kind of integrate Indian and American cultures. We have a tradition in Indian weddings, okay, where when you're getting married, the bride, she's sitting up in the altar, the mandap as we call it, and all of the married women will come up and whisper into her ear either blessings or advice. And it's unfair because the person that needs advice is the guy. So I thought I would take this opportunity to blend American and Indian culture and ask, is it Tony? whisper some advice into your ear. Marriage advice. Do you remember all your fun single friends? They're going to be replaced by couple friends. And couple friends suck. Couple friends make you do boring things, like look at their baby. Their baby sucks. Sometime in the near future, your wife is going to read an article about apple picking. And she's going to say, Tony, we should go apple picking 3 hours away. And you're going to say, honey, I don't want to go apple picking because grocery stores exist. We will go apple picking. Sometime in the near future, you're going to be having an argument, and she's going to say, Tony, do whatever you want. Don't do whatever you want. She's going to say, I trust you. You're an adult. You can make your own decisions. She doesn't trust you. You are not an adult. She's going to say, seriously, Tony, just do whatever you want. Think about what you want to do, Tony, and do the opposite of that. Thank you for letting me whisper awkwardly into your ear. Maybe next time you kiss us will be helpful. Give it up for Tony, everybody! So I wanted to talk about marriage because we have, as preparing for this, I had an opportunity to meet a lot of the organizers, and one of my favorite people that I met while preparing for this is the person I'm introducing next. He's kind of lively, he's fun, he's here to get you guys all excited and making some bids. He is coming up, as I talk about marriage, with his very lovely wife. Both of them are very big AIF supporters. Please put your hands together for the managing director of the Sharma Group, which is part of the Ring, and an active philanthropist from many colleges in the Ocean Community Desires and welcome from the Liberty Sharma, everybody, with the art auction.
Anish, thank you very much. And first of all, I want to congratulate Scott and Lauren for being so graceful, for making such wonderful comments. And I want to congratulate Congresswoman Gala and Congressman Kennedy for being here and being so generous with their time. This is my wife, and I've been married for 33 years to this lovely lady. And it gets better every year. So we're going to try to do this auction together. We haven't quite done this before, so there's no dress rehearsal. She spent the past 20 days in Nepal, trekking and hiking. She just came back the other day. I'm sure she has jet lag, but here she is on the stage. You got it. And thank you very much for coming out here and supporting the cause. And as Lata, our esteemed chairman, somebody was asking, what does Lata do? And I said, she's our chairman. She's the chairwoman of our board, in fact. And she does an incredible job. Lata is an entrepreneur. She's run successful companies. She's at the board of Silicon Valley Bank and several other corporations. And it's a tireless leadership, traveling around the country pro bono. And she gets stock options, which the IRR is measured in terms of social return every single day. Please give a nice round of applause. Of giving. Let's celebrate some great artists and have some fun. So now what do we have tonight?
Okay, so welcome everyone. We're going to start off our art auction this year. This year's theme is art from South Asia. I didn't expect that. You must have all seen the extraordinary art outside. Just amazing on display. These artists that you see represented here are the new and dynamic art movement in India. I was just there earlier this week, visited a lot of galleries in Delhi, and it's just mind-blowing the kind
entrepreneur. He's a great supporter of AIF, and he was started in art galleries. His name is Santana Krishnan. Wherever you are, Santana Krishnan, please stand up and take a bow. There he is, out there. Thank you, Santana. Santana has just started the very first South Asian art gallery in Boston. As we all know, New York has many of them, but this is really the first of its effort in Boston. And we really applaud Santana. And his mission is really to provide a platform for emerging artists so that they can show their work, they can be a forum for dialogue and discussion. So we're going to start off with an artist who's very acclaimed, Mark Ratinaraj. And Nani, you want to talk a little bit about Ratinaraj?
Yeah, sure. This is by Mark Ratinaraj, who's an emerging, or I should say, sort of established new artist. His signature style is simple, strong strokes, very powerful and evocative, full of expression. And here's a piece called The Performer. It depicts a South Indian performer from the state of Kerala. Very forceful ritual form of dancing, which is a form of worship. And here it is, performed by Mark Ratinaraj.
Let's get started with the video. And we want to make it very quick. We've got 30 minutes to auction 9 pieces, so we've got to be very efficient here. We can do it.
Absolutely.
We can do it. All right, we're going to start the bidding for this with $2,000, and we're going to go in increments of $500. Do I see a hand up for $2,000 for this magnificent piece of original work? $2,000, anybody? 2,000. 2,000. That's our Christian. 2,000. 2,500. 3,000. Do I see hands up for 3,500? This is an incredible piece of work. This artist has had exhibitions around the world. And Indian art is like buying the Dow Jones average at 4,000. It's at 16,000 right now. So it is undervalued. Do I see a hand up there? $4,000. Thank you very much. Sushil Puri right here at $3,000. Thank you very much, Sushil. You get your turn, I promise.
Okay. The next piece we have, or the next three pieces we have, is from our very own in-house artist, Vandana Sharma. What can I say? She's not just the chair of this event, she's also produced this amazing art. It's a set of three paintings, and as you can see, it's just vibrant colors and expressions of street scenes, and it could be any city in Delhi. I mean, you see the rickshaw wala and the food seller, and this is probably like a chaat person or a bakery or a pani puri wala. So it's something that touches all of us. We all have some connection with these kind of scenes. I just returned from Delhi where I kind of indulged in everything that Chaat and Shop offers, and I survived. So here's some great pieces by our very own Vandana Sharma. And Raj, take it away.
Oh, thank you. These guys are holding it. Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Emma. You know, Vandana Sharma, as you know, is our co-chair tonight for the gala. Thank you very much, Vandana. There you are, of course, you know, with the lights around you guys. Thank you very much. You've been generous with your time, your money, and plus your art. And Vandana has been recognized nationally. She's the winner of a prestigious award given by the government of Italy called the A Award. She's an interior designer, she's an industrial designer, designs toys, and in her spare time, she produces these great pieces, acrylic pieces. So this is a typical street scene in India. I was talking to Rick Burns earlier tonight. He's going to go to India. Rick, when you go to India, this is what you will see in every street corner in India. You can almost hear the sounds. So we're going to start the bidding at $3,000 for all three pieces combined. This will look exceptional in your living room for $3,000. Do I see a bid for $3,000 for these pieces? $3,000. Venkat Srinivasan, $3,000. $3,500. $3,500. $3,500, Monica. Thank you very much. $4,000. $4,000 for all three pieces. Imagine it's going to light up your house. It's going to have the vibrancy of India, the colors of India for $4,000. Do I see $4,000 here? $4,000. Becca, thank you. $4,000. $4,500. $4,500. Going once. $4,500. Going twice. $4,500. Do I see $4,500 from this side of the room? $4,000. Sold to Becca Srinivasan. Thank you very much. Wonderful, wonderful. We are getting down to the last few. I request your attention for the next few so we can get it down quickly.
So the next piece is probably like our signature piece here. An artist that needs no introduction to our gala is by Girish Adanagar. Every year we've just been able to do some wonderful things with his paintings. Very, very pleasing. It's just in Hindi. The two paintings are inspired by AIF's many programs to improve the lives of these urban migrants. The second one, which you'll see coming up later, is Women's Empowerment or Shashaktakarn in Hindi. And it is another critical foundational element of any social activity strategy. So here's the first one, empowerment of data.
Thank you very much, Ali. If I can have your attention, Vivek Vera, Christina, you just have the last two paintings. I request your attention for 2 more minutes. This artist is an American artist living in India right now. His paintings are vibrant, incredible colors. Vivek grew up in South Africa, spent time in India and the US. And this painting reflects the work of AIF. It's about the migration from rural areas to urban areas. People coming in with no skills, and that's where AIF comes in. And these two paintings can go together or a la carte. We're going to start the bidding at $2,500 for Vivek Vera. $2,500 for Vivek. Do I see a hand up for $2,500? Thank you very much, Ken. $2,500. Do I see $3,000 for Vivek Vera? Vivek Vera is an incredible artist shown around the world. We personally have 7 of his pieces, and many of the AIF trustees have pieces from Vivek Vera. It is something you'll enjoy in your home. $2,500 for Vivek Vera. $2,500 here. Thank you very much. $3,000. Must see $3,000 this side for Vivek. Geeta, it's going to look fabulous in your living room, your dining room. $3,000 for Vivek Vera. Thank you very much, Geeta. $3,500. $3,500. It's a real steal. What do you get these days for $3,500? Being at a fancy restaurant. So this is, you can enjoy it every single day. $3,500. Do I see $3,500? $3,500. Going once, going twice. Geeta, sold to you for $3,000. Thank you very much. And we have the second piece for Vivek Vera coming up. And this is the last piece, ladies and gentlemen, of this auction. So far, we've raised a good amount of money, so I want to give you all an applause. Thank you very much. So if you look at the last piece was about the migration. And this is about women's empowerment. This is about a course. This lady with her child is outside of school in Old Delhi. So that was the inspiration. Vivek right now lives in Delhi, and his paintings are all about where he lives. He gets inspired by those. So we're going to start the bidding for this at $3,000. $3,000 for this piece. It will go terrific, Geeta, with your other piece. $3,000 from that table. Thank you very much. Do I yet see $3,500 to Vivek Vera? $3,500. Thank you very much, Ram. $3,500 for
make a donation, whatever you can afford, just to highlight for you what the impact of these donations are. Ladies and gentlemen, we have like 3 minutes left. I'll wait. I should wait, right? Yeah? I like that this side got quiet. This side's the bad side. All right. Just to highlight the donation levels. $25,000 makes you a full sponsor of a mass training center and helps more than 200 people get trained and get jobs. $10,000 helps 80 young people get trained to get jobs. $5,000 helps 40 kids get trained to get jobs. $2,500 helps 20 kids. $1,000 helps 8. $500 helps 4, and $250 helps 2. Please donate whatever you can. All right, I'm going to give you guys an option. Would you guys like one more joke? Yes? One more joke. Make some noise if you want one more joke. Yes? All right, one more joke. So we've talked so much today about family, about marriage. We just saw Raj and Nani Sharma's amazing marriage. And what it caused me to remember is growing up in this country, one of my favorite things about growing up in this country was that I was raised on Bollywood films. I love Bollywood. Are you guys Bollywood fans? Yeah? Make some noise if you love Bollywood. Make some noise, people. My favorite Bollywood film was my favorite Bollywood song was a song called Jumma Jumma, starring Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan fans, yes? Amitabh fans? Amitabh fans over here, where are the Amitabh fans? Yes! My favorite song was called Jumma Jumma, and I was thinking the other day, what if Amitabh married Jumma? 25 years later, right? What would Amitabh be singing to Jumma about today? Right? So where are the dads in the audience? Make some noise if you're a dad. Dads, make some noise. Whenever I talk to dads, and they have, they're married 25 years, maybe they have a few daughters, what's always on their mind is that they just want to be able to use the bathroom in peace. And so I was thinking, what would Amitabh sing to Jumma about today? And I think if he was singing to her today, it would go something like this. He just wants to use the bathroom in peace. All right, are you guys ready? Are you guys excited for a song? Yeah, excited? Ladies and gentlemen, are you excited for the last joke of the night? Make some noise, people, yes? All right, Amitabh Bachchan, 25 years later. Arey Jumma, meri jaane man, bahar nikal, mujhe jaana hai, kam zaruri hai, ishq aa gaya, tu bhi jati na, mujhe mat tarpa, अरे तू बोली थी हक पानी पूरी खा हाय और पेट में हाय कट हो गया हाय मुझे जाना है तो बारह 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 जुम्मा कर दे दे. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we let you go for the night, a couple of things. One, I wanted to thank you all so much for having me as your host. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys had a good time. I love talking to people after these shows. If you want to come and talk to me, I would love it. If you want to learn more about me as a comedian, you can go to anishcomedy.com or just come and grab a card from me. Before we let you go, a couple of things. One, dinner will be served shortly. And two, I wanted to invite Brian and Sunita up here to say some final thank yous. Thank you all very much. Brian and Sunita, everybody. This is the book. Thank you. Brian and Sunita, everybody.
Most pleasant task of the evening. On behalf of the trustees of the AIF and thank you. We have the most pleasant task of the evening. on behalf of the trustees of the AIF and the amazing New England team, we would like to thank Scott Sperling and Lorraine. Scott, co-president of Thomas H. Partners, and Lorraine, his lovely wife, who is his inspiration and his soulmate, for gracing this occasion as the honorary and for his generous gift. Vivek and Vandana Sharma, our Gala co-chairs, who have been an inspiration and the driving force behind this event.
To them, to the program chairs and volunteers who have tirelessly worked to make this event a success, we owe them a great amount of gratitude. Their names are listed on the slide above. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big hand. Thank you all for making time this evening and for your generous contributions to this very important cause. Several years ago, we had an audacious goal to make this annual event the signature event for our community in the New England region. And today we have broken all records. We have had more than 500 guests, and this has been an oversold event. Please give yourself a big round of applause. Our task for next year is going to be even more challenging. From 500, we'll go to be higher. Thank you once again, and have a good evening.